Hey friends, welcome newcomers. It's time for another edition of What Would You Make? Hosted by Zaina from OK at Home, Marsha from Marsha's Mush and Stuff, and co-hosted by Evie at Sweet Little Home. Links to their channels and the playlist will be in the description box. I have this gorgeous wooden silhouette. I found this on Amazon, and to start this out, I'm going to stain this with American Walnut by Rust-Oleum. Just to accentuate the wood. Once the staining was complete, I wiped off the excess and set this aside to dry. Okay, so my stain is completely dry, and for her beautiful Afro puff crown, I have some gorgeous Solawood RIP flowers that I want to add. I think this will be just gorgeous. So I'm going to start with just going around the edge and doing like a dry fit of the flowers, and then filling in These Solawood flowers are absolutely beautiful. If you would like to purchase them at a discount, there will be a link in my description box. Once my dry fit was complete and I was happy with it, I started to hot glue my flowers down to my wood piece. These beautiful florals with these gorgeous tones really just bring her hair to life. I think this is absolutely beautiful, having her hair made of beautiful flowers. I'm trying to get a good tight fit of all the flowers beside each other so there aren't any gaps. And if I do end up having small little gaps, I have some really tiny flowers that I can fill in those spaces with, but I want all of the wood to be totally covered in beautiful florals. Once I was happy with all of my flowers I placed, I had this little galvanized hanger from a picture frame that I just hot glued to the back so that I could hang this on the wall. I was thinking I wanted to give her a choker. I had a scrap piece of ribbon with gold running through it and a bit of pearl wrap. So I just tried them on to see which one looked best, and I ended up choosing the pearl wrap. So I just snipped it according to the width of her neck and just applied it with a little bit of hot glue. If you're enjoying this content, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the bell icon to be notified every time I upload a new video. I am beyond happy with the way this looks. This has exceeded my expectations. This is absolutely gorgeous, and this will be hanging in my great room. I love this. Here are just a few examples of some beautiful projects that our hosts and co-hosts have created. These beautiful peony projects by Zaina from OK at Home, this really cute farmhouse basket, and she also does trash to treasures and thrift flips. And Marsha from Marsha's Mush and Stuff. This is a really beautiful wreath, and she also does lots of Dollar Tree walkthroughs and hauls showing us everything that's new there. Look at this great haul of fall decor that she recently had. Evie from Sweet Little Home recently made this gorgeous intricate macrame hanging piece. Absolutely beautiful. Please check out their channels. Okay, to start this out, I have two wooden tags. I found these at the Family Dollar. Family Dollar is really coming through with a lot of wood products lately. I love it. A rectangle plaque. I found this at Walmart. This was $1, and the dimensions are 5.125 inches by 7.25 inches. It's a plaid product, but I am not a plaid ambassador. Plaid, if you want to hook your girl up, I would love that. So I've been seeing a lot of wood toolboxes slash caddies made with tag signs, the chipboard tag signs, and I've made several caddies out of wood, but none with the tag sign. So I was so happy to find these in wood. So today that's what we're going to try to do, is make a wood caddy slash toolbox with these. And I would like this to be the base. If this doesn't work, then I do have the giant craft sticks from Walmart, but I'm hoping that I can get it to work with this. So after I removed the stickers from all of my wood pieces, I did a dry fit to see how the bottom and the tags would butt up against each other and how much overhang there would be, if any. And I'm wanting to use this epoxy because it sets up really quick, and I'm going to apply some to each section of the pallet sign, and I'll use just a bit of hot glue on one of the sections. This epoxy sets up within 5 minutes and it's a permanent hold. So I felt like this would be better than using the wood glue because I would get a really quicker bond on it. And it's easy to use. Once you cut the tube open, you just squirt out even amounts of both sides. You mix it, and once it starts to get a little cloudy, then you go ahead and apply it to whatever you want to bond together. And I put just a few pieces in front and behind the sign just to help it stand up until the bond is secure. And I repeated the same steps with the other tag sign. So it says a 5-minute set, but I let it set for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then I felt it was safe to move it around. And I wanted to get started on the sides, and I'm using giant craft sticks from Walmart to make my sides. And so initially I just placed one on the side and I snipped the end to see about how much I needed to cut off on the other end. And then I laid it on its side and got the measurements so that I could use this first piece as a template to make all my other cuts. And with all my pieces cut, I'm using Gorilla Wood glue to attach the side pieces to the tag signs. I use a Dollar Tree sanding sponge to sand all the areas where I had snipped the giant craft sticks. And then I wanted to get started on the handle, and I'm using tumbling tower blocks, and initially I had set them inside where the top of the tag signs are, and then I stood it up to see from end to end how many it would take, and then it looked like about 4 would be appropriate. So I started gluing together the blocks with the Gorilla Wood glue, and I did 2 sets of 4 blocks. And then I used praying tempera to stain the wood on this wood toolbox. So I stained everything but the outside facing portion of the tag signs. So then I went ahead and wiped down all of the areas I had painted with the praying so I could have a stain-like effect. By this time, my tower blocks were dry, so I wanted to adhere them to each other so I could stack them and have a thick board for my handle. Then I moved on to the out-facing portion of the tag signs, and I applied white matte apple barrel paint. I applied the tempera paint to the handle as well. There's just a little bit too much overhang, so I knocked down the edges and took just a little bit off each end. Then I applied the tempera to the ends where I had sanded it down. And with my white paint dry on both sides, I'm using a stencil I found on Amazon from a company called Craft. This is totally not sponsored. I did pay for this. I just applied some black matte apple barrel with a makeup sponge. And with my first section finished, I just applied the stencil to the top and finished it off, and I like the way it looked. And I finished the other side as well, and then I used the epoxy to apply my handle so I could get a really good secure hold. I used a chip brush and some white paint and brushed over the entire piece. Then I decided I wanted to wrap twine around the handle, so I'm using just hot glue and this Dollar Tree twine, which is very thin, and this did take a bit. I burned off all the excess strings once I was finished. And then I decided to apply some wooden phrases that I found in a pack recently at Dollar Tree. One says Farm Fresh and the other says Hello Autumn. And I have a question. Do you guys say autumn, harvest, or fall for this time of year that we're going into? Let me know in the comments. And here's my toolbox all complete. I think it looks better with the twine around the handle. This looks adorable with sunflowers. I have a few fudge spots on my stenciling, but I mean, it's a rustic look. I think it looks really good. Let me know, what do you guys think of this? I'll link my 3 other toolbox tutorials in the description box, and don't forget to check out the amazing playlist.